everybody. We continue where we left last time, as I promised you, after we explain about Rosh Hashanah from the point of the Nesirah, back to back, which is few situations taking place in fusion of chesed, more merciful light from Bina, and because of that, the Gvorot, there is two Gvorot we're dealing with. One is from Zeir Anpin, one from Malchut. But because Rosh Hashanah, Zeir Anpin is going to sleep. It's called dormita, coming from the word in Italian or Spanish dormir, which is to sleep. So Zeir Anpin falling to sleep, so we can take the judgment into Malchut, and through the shofar, we are basically purified and sweet the judgment Malchut. That's actually what happened in Rosh Hashanah. So the Zohar, basically in Emor, have a discussion about the shofar, and I will do my best to explain everything in the best way I can. I'm reading from Zohar Emor, Sulam, verse 191. רבי אבא היה יושב לפני רבי שמעון. רבי אבא עושה לי גפרון of רבי שמעון. אמר לו, הרי הרבה פעמים שאלתי על השופר הזה. Many times I ask about this shofar. Again, shofar is the horn that we are using to blow and make that sound on Rosh Hashanah. And it has to be specific. And the word shofar, you know, in Hebrew, there is few names for the horn of the animal, but you can call it keren. Keren is also an horn, but keren is not, like if you take a keren of the cow, it's not kosher to be used as a horn. It has to be from a ram, okay? So it has to be a specific, representing, of course, Isaac, representing, of course, left column, representing the whole concept of having a full control over the left column and over the judgment. So, שאלתי על השופר הזה, מהו עניינו? What's the point of this shofar? ועד עתה עוד לא נתיישבתי בו. עושה רבי אבא, and we should ask that question as well, I wasn't sitting well with that. אמר לו ודאי, זהו ברורו של הדבר. Tell him רבי שמעון, of course, it's not sit with you yet, and let's make it clear. כי ישראל צריכים ביום הדין שופר ולא קרן. Israelite need shofar, but not keren, not horn, that's what we call keren. כי קרן הרי נודע באיזה מקום הוא, שהוא רומז על המלכות. Now, of course, it's not just halacha, it's not just the law, the Jewish law of what you're blowing the shofar with. It has to do with the metaphysical, mystical, spiritual, Kabbalistic, Zohar, Ari explanation. That keren, the horn as the wrong horn, that it's not shofar, has to do with malchut, which is totally judgment. ואין אנחנו צריכים לעורר דין, and we don't want to wake up judgment בראש השנה. משאין כך שופר רומז אל הבינה. But shofar, when we talk about horn, the shofar itself that we use in Rosh Hashanah, we're talking about bina, which is rachamim. What is Rav Ashlag? And the Zohar try to tell us, both aspects are nekevot, both aspects are female aspect. But there is a female called bina, and there is a female called malchut. The malchut female is all judgment. The malchut bina is mercy. There is mercy there. And we need to explain it, of course. אומנם למדנו אשר בדיבור מעשה צריכים להראות ולעורר דברים סתומים, תן לתקוד שופר או בקטר. But of course, it's not enough just to go ahead and come to Rosh Hashanah like this. It's include with the certain blessing we're doing before the shofar, before the blowing, and a certain brachot. So all of those meditation of blessing over the shofar, how to blow the shofar, what the 5 finger of the person who blow the shofar should be, what the upper lips will be, what the lower lips will be, what is the letters that coming from the mouth of the person will be. Everything as a meditation, of course. And the blower have to study it. And of course, once the day of the blowing arrive, and need to blow the shofar Rosh Hashanah, then you need to memorize it as much as you can, of course, because there's 1,000 details on that. בו הורה. כששופר הוא עליון, שבו הורותם של הכל, דהיינו בינה, when that upper shofar, because the lower shofar that the blower used is activating an upper shofar, שכל המוחין דזכר ונקבה דאצילות, ובריאה יצירה עשייה מבין הבאים. אם הוא מסתלק ולא אומר לבנים שהם זר במלכות, אז מתעורר הדין והכסות מתקנים לבית הדין. If we don't do the shofar in the right way, the blowing the right way, then we activating judgment from midat adin, from the attribute of judgment. What the shofar does, the shofar is a transformer to change from judgment into mercy. So it's a tremendous amount of help that we're getting on Rosh Hashanah. אז מתעורר הדין והכסות מתקנים לבית הדין. שופר זה שהוא סוד הבינה, נקרא אלוהי של יצחק, אנו תוקפו של יצחק. So that shofar, calling the strength of Isaac, that make that transformation. שהוא בינה, וכשנסתלק שופר הגדול הזה ואינו מאיר לבנים, לזרע אנפין המלכות, when that shofar is no longer give the light to זרע אנפין המלכות, we call it בנים, the sons, בין שאין ייחוד זרע, okay? I'm skipping some parts so it will be clear for everybody, forgive me. So, Rav Ashlag is this section from Rav Ashlag. When we don't have that transformation, meaning if we don't learn to unite Ze'er Anpin and Malchut, Yud Ke Vav Ke and Adonai, and we leave to Ze'er Anpin to take from the right column of Binah, and Malchut will take from the left column of Binah, because the left of Binah without the right is awakening more Isaac, which is left column. All right? And when we talk about left column from Binah, we talk about what we call Chokhmah without Chasadim. I will explain it. When there is a blessing coming from above, but there is no place where the container can capture that blessing turning into a judgment. That's what left column really mean. And we call it dinim kashim, harsh judgment. So, וכשנתעורר השופר הזה, but when we use the shofar, כשבני אדם שווים מעוונותיהם, and people, especially now, the beginning should be from Tu B'Av, which is today, and Rosh Chodesh Elul, of course, there is awakening of something from us to do tshuva, to change ourselves. צריכים למשוך בכל השופר בלמטה, וכל ההוא עולה למעלה, אז מתעורר שופר אחד עליו שהוא בינה. The shofar that we're blowing here is awakening everything to do tshuva, to do repentance for whatever we did wrong, and then we're awakening some shofar, or the shofar, in the upper level, שהוא בינה, מתעוררים ברחמים, והדין מסתלק. So we wake up Binah, and when we wake up Binah, it's mercy. And then the judgment go away. Now, what does that mean, mercy? Mercy means we eliminate the concept of time. What is judgment? We included the concept of time, because when you talk about time, unfortunately, there is cause and effect based on time. But we talk about mercy, we basically exchange, or not exchange, I should say, we will make, extend the time, make it a little bit longer, so it's giving us chance to change. That's what rachamim mean, mercy. וצריכים להראות מעשה לתת כבד שופר. We need to do an action with the shofar, with the physical shofar in the physical world. That we can wake up the upper shofar. להוציא מהשופר הזה, שמעת אלו הקולות, תשרת. We're supposed to take some sound, which are תקיעה, שברים, תרועה, תקיעה. And when we make those sound, which are very important sound, because I will explain later that every sound is corresponding to something powerful that we want to change, שכל אלו הקולות שלמעלה כלולים בשופר העליון שוגעים לקווים מפרטיהם, הכלולים בבינה התעוררו לצאת מן הבינה לזרע אנפין המלכות. What are we doing with this blowing? We are awakening חסד, גבורה and תפארת. What is חסד, גבורה and תפארת? We call it שלושת הקווים. 3 column system, And through that, we start fixing judgment into mercy. Let's explain it. Say to us Rav Ashlag, ביאור הדברים. בכל ראש השנה חוזר העולם לקדמותו, כמו שהיה ביום ד' למעשה בראשית. Every Rosh Hashanah, it's like the fourth day of creation is taking a place. What does that mean? And why fourth? We just say it's the sixth day of creation because it's the creation of Adam and Eve. But from an energy point of view, because of the sin, everything going back to the fourth day of creation. Now let's find out what happened. All right. שאז נטמעתה המלכות, כי המלכות נקראת שנה. The name, the second name for the word malchut, which is the last sphira, we call it shana. Also, what happened in Wednesday? Nitma'ata amalchut. The malchut becomes smaller. Third explanation, what is malchut that becomes smaller? If you look at Wednesday, what exactly happened on Wednesday? What was created on Wednesday? The sun and the moon. The sun and the moon, as we know, the moon came a little bit with honest complaint to God and say, how can you put two masters in heaven? In everything you put one master. In heaven you put two. So God said to the moon, go make yourself smaller. It's not a punishment, actually. We need to understand what it means. בי"ב חודשי השנה הם סדרי התיקון שלה מתחילתה עד גמר התיקון. 12 months is fixing the year. That's why it's called shana. Shana means year. Y-E-A-R. That means shana. Shana, a year. So the 12 months of the year is fixing the malchut. עד גמר התיקון. ואם נשלמה השנה ולא גמרו תיקונה, לא תקנה בשנה האחרת. אנחנו צריכים שוב להתחיל מראשית הווייתה, כמו שהייתה ביום ד' מעשה בראשית. If we fix the year and we did all of our tikkun, whatever need to be done, then we're done. But if we're not, then we have to refixing it. When we get a chance to refix it, on Rosh Hashanah, we get a chance to fix whatever happened in the fourth day of creation. Let's understand it. And that's giving us every year till Messiah will come, until the end of the tikkun, until Tchiyat HaMetim, and until the temple will be built. So let's understand what happened the fourth day. Because if we will know what to do. So, וביום ד' למעשה בראשית כתוב, ויעש אלוקים את שני המאורות הגדולים, שהמלכות הייתה גדולה כמו זעיר אנפין. So, on Wednesday, it's written in Bereshit, in Genesis, that God created two lights in heaven, and they were equal. The sun and the moon were equal. שהמלכות הייתה גדולה כמו זעיר אנפין. מלכות and זעיר אנפין were the same level. כי אז היה זעיר אנפין מלביש לקו ימין דבינה. זעיר אנפין was addressing the right column of בינה, manifesting the right column of בינה, והמלכות manifesting the left column of בינה. And those two columns were separate from one another. And that's why left column of בינה was chokhmah without chasadim, meaning, what is chokhmah without chasadim? Chokhmah is the strongest light. Left column, strongest light, but nothing to reveal that. So, left column of Binah was very strong dinim, judgment, because it's a lot of light, but nothing to reveal that. We call that column choshech velo or. Darkness, no light, or harsh judgment. Because the chokhmah lo yechola la'ir bli chasadim. Because the light of wisdom, which is the original light that comes from the Creator, cannot shine without chasadim. In a simple language, nothing can be revealed until it doesn't become an act of sharing. Which means, if you want to reveal something about yourself, you have to think about it, how can I share it? Not how can I receive from it. And why? Because the gift that you're born with, that's called Or de Chokhmah. That's what's causing you judgment. Every gift you have, or your ability. Let's say you fast, you're quick, you solve things right away. Those are gifts from the Creator. But they are turning against you. Because they did him. If you will take those gifts and turn them into chasadim, chesed, into sharing, then you revealed your potential. The Mishnah said, כל מי שחוכמתו מרובה ממעשיו, חוכמתו אינה מתקיימת. משנה, פרקי אבות said, whoever his wisdom is greater than his action, his wisdom will not manifest. Then the Mishnah continue, וכל מי שמעשיו מרובים מחוכמתו, חוכמתו מתקיימת. Then the Mishnah said, whoever his action is greater than his wisdom, then his wisdom manifests. Of course, it's a code. ועל כן נבחן אז שהקדוש ברוך הוא יושב על כיסא דין. ודינים נמשכים לעולם כי אנו מקבלים רק מן המלכות הנקראת כיסא לזעיר אנפין, ואם המלכות היא בשמאל, הבינה, כשהוא נפרד בימין, שהזמן הדין בצד המלכות והשפעת דינים לעולם. So, if we connect to the left column of בינה, meaning only the malchut, like it used to be, then we receive only judgment, there is no mercy. וזה שאומר, כעת הסתלקהו בשופר גדול לעולה ינקן הבניין. דהיינו, בעת שבית קווים לבינה נפרדים זה מזה, כדי לצחק את הכבד כל הדין הבנה, עד מתגבר השמאל שנקרא יצחק, משפיע דינים אל המלכות. If we only drawing energy from the left side of בינה, which is malchut judgment, then it's affecting us only with problem, with דינים. מלכות לעולם, ואז ניתן לנו מצוות תקיעת שופר, ובית תיקונים לעשות את תקיעת שופר. So that's why we have the mitzvah of blowing the shofar on Rosh Hashanah. And we accomplish two things by that. א', הוא להעלות מים נוקבים, לעורר זיווג על מסך דחריק שבזעיר אנפין, שהוא במקום הבינה, שלדעת זה הוא ממעט קו השמאל, ומייחד אותו עם הימין, ויצאו ג' קווים בבינה, שהוא סוד חוכמה בינה דעת. Alright. שכל שופר עולה בסוד מן, מעורר הקול שלמעלה שהוא סוד זעיר אנפין, המכונה קול, שהוא למעלה בבינה. דהיינו שקו אמצעי, שהוא סוד רחמים, נתעורר ומייחד בית הקווים דבינה, זה בזה, ואז, שאחר שקו שמאל אחד בימין, מסתלקים כל הדינים משמאל, וזהו תיקון האחד לנסה לתקיעת השופר. So it say, when we blow the shofar, first blowing of the shofar, something very unique happened. What happened? We are able to accomplish something new. So instead of the left column, which is only dinim, a lot of blessing, a lot of light, but nothing to capture it. So that's what turned it into become midat adin. That's what turned it into become judgment. So through the shofar, we activating the three-column system. What is the three-column system? Until now, it was only two column, because from Bina coming, the right column, Zeir Anpin, mercy, little bit of light, but mercy. Left column, all the light, but judgment. There is no way we can capture it. The shofar has the ability to combine the right with the left. And through that, we are lowering the ability of left column and the judgment. And through that, we're bringing mercy. Of course, we need to talk about the style of the blowing. You know, what's first, what's second, what's third, what's fourth. We need to understand it, because once you understand what you're doing, it's so much fun. The whole Rosh Hashanah, you understand it. For example, the first blowing is tekiah. Tekiah is like, okay? The last blowing is also tekiah, but they are different. Because the first one is chesed, and the fourth one in the first blowing, set of blowing, is tiferet. But both of them has balance, okay? In between, we're cooking different dinim, shvarim and truah. Shvarim is the dinim, you know, that are heavy, and then we have other type of dinim, one from Zeir Anpin, one from Malchut. So through the blowing, we are combine the three-column system, Chesed, Gvura, and Tiferet, and through that, we are able to put our life in order. In fact, without knowing those things and doing the blowing of the shofar, we might find ourselves lost and not getting the benefit we should get from Rosh Hashanah. So, we continue. So the first tikkun, ולהעלות מים נוקבים לעורר זיווג על בשר תחיריק שבזעיר אנפין, is basically to activating that combination. So we're turning the left column of Malchut into mercy by joining or the Chokmah and or the Chasadim. תיקון ב', second תיקון, ולהוציא הקולות מבינה שהם ג' קווים שיצאו בה על ידי זעיר אנפין, שנקרא קול. ממשיכם לזעיר במקומו למטה, בסוד, מאחר שתלת קווי הבינה מחד נפקי בזעיר אנפין. אז חד בתלת קו, זעיר אנפין זוכה בתלת קווים. כל המוכרים שהתחתון גורם לעליון, זוכה בהם גם התחתון. אלא שצריכים מעשה למטה, לא רואה זה למעלה. So, by us blowing the shofar, we are getting now energy to activate through the Eranpin. So again, two things. One, canceling the judgment that exists on Malchut. Second, activating the energy that we need through the call shofar, sound of shofar, voice of shofar. The word call is sound or voice. And we are now bringing the three-column system to the Eranpin, that basically, you know from last week when I recorded, that went to sleep, we're awakening, and we're activating the energy that we need. וזה נעשה על ידי סדר הקולות, ג' פעמים תשרת, ג' פעמים תשת, ג' פעמים תרת, שאנו תוקים, כמו שלפנינו. And this is by doing the system, one system included, תשרת, תשת, תרת. תשרת mean תקיעה, שברים תרועה, תקיעה, then תקיעה, שברים, תקיעה, then תקיעה, תרועה, תקיעה. Okay, so we have activation through that sound without we're doing that in this order with the Havana, with that understanding. It's just unfortunately a sound. But once we have that understanding, we're getting more. Those of you who cannot afford to be in places where people know what they're doing with the shofar, it's enough that you know and you're turning that sound that they are doing into whatever you want it to become. ובאלו הקולות שלמטה נותנים ישראל כוח למעלה. וכן צריכים לזמן שופר ביום הזה, סדר קולות דהיינו סדרי תשרת, לקווה בו כדי לעורר שופר אחרי שהוא בינה, שבו כלולים הקולות שלמעלה שהם חגת זעיר אנפין. So, we need always to understand that there's two things happening. One is to switch the judgment on Malchut on the left column, and second is to activate the energy to flow through זעיר אנפין. So, I'm continue. סדר האלף שבגיעים לסדרים שבתשרת, כל יוצר מתעטר למעלה בבינה עולה ריקים ונפקע בנהרים הרמים בין בית קווי בינה, שם מגיע לאברהם שהוא חסד זעיר אנפין ושורה בראשו. מתעטר ומתעורר, מתקן את הכיסא שתהיה כיסא של הרחמים. ספר כדי למדנו שבשעה שכל ראשון עולה, מתעורר ומתעטר אברהם מתקן, זה פוקדים עליו אבא, דהיינו חוכמה של כאב ימין ובינה. Just to make it simple, it's not exactly what it says, but I have to make it simple. In the first set of blowing, tashrat, when we do tekiah, shvarim, tru'ah, tekiah, we are awakening the chesed. Because a set, we have tashrat, okay? Then we have tashat, then we have tarat. So all of it is 10. So what we are awakening in the first set of blowing? Avraham, chesed. Chesed, we're awakening the right column energy. Remember, we are here to fix the three column. Let's understand it. What is this bet תיקונים say רב אשלג? אחד, הוא לעורר יציאת קו האמצעי בבינה המייחד בית קווים זה בזה. הבית, אחרי שיצאו גם לקווים בינה ונכלו זה בזה, שכמו אותם במקום זעיר אנפין. So, רב אשלג said, it's very important doing Rosh Hashanah to remember those two תיקונים. First tikkun is to awaken the center column in Binah so we can combine right column and left column. Remember, the right column and left column are not going together. How is this connect to the fourth day of creation? Because the fourth day of creation, the sun and the moon were created. And the moon was not happy about the condition that there is two rulers in the sky. What does the moon represent? Malchut, left column. What does the sun represent? Right column. What does the center column represent? Combination of both forces to be able to combine. Otherwise, we connect to judgment. And that's why this holiday is called Ben Kese, Le'asor. Kese, this is the name of the holiday. Kese means when something cover, corresponding to the moon, that is covered from the light, because it doesn't get any light. It has all the light, but nothing to reveal that. So it's called Kese. Asor min Yom Kippur. So it's called the holiday of Rosh Hashanah, Kese, which means the holiday that its cover. So again, two things happening. Please remember, two things happening when you're blowing the shofar. Two, from the moment you blow the shofar. One, combination of the three column. Second, the energy that infused through the three column now going through זעיר אנפין. אמנם צריך לזכור בכל זה שעיקר הנרצה מתקעת שופר הוא למעט כף שמאל מגר שלו, ולבטל את דיניו הקשים הנמשכים מגר שמאל. אלו, הקולות שאנו מעלים הם כוחות הדין, ממעטים את כף שמאל מן הגר שלו, ואז בגלל הייחוד ג' לקווים בסוד הרחמים. Rav Ashlag said, please, I want you to add another thing. When you're blowing the shofar, or when somebody blowing the shofar for you, and you can hear it, you need to think about combine the three-column system. The three-column system, it tells us. Very, very important to remember that. Always remember that. עיקר הנרצה מתקעת השופר. The main thing about blowing the shofar is to lower the left column from the gar, from keter chuma bina of the left column, meaning removal of the judgment and cancelling the judgment, the harsh judgment. That where does the harsh judgment come from? From the left column. What is left column? Every time that I'm drawing light to myself and I'm not reflecting it back. So there is no reflecting. It's only me. What is right column? Only reflecting but not enough desire. So by me combining those two engines, I'm getting a system. It's called three-column system. בדרך כלל יש ג' בחינות דינים, it's called ג' זריעות חולם שהוא חריק. All right. I'm skipping this part. I will say, as Rav Ashlag explained in the Zohar, dinim de nukva, the judgment that come from the nukva, from the female, we call them tru'ah. The judgment that come from the dukhra, called shvarim. Shvarim is the tree. When you do the shofar, it's like tur, tur, tur. And tru'ah, tur, 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 tur. Okay? So, the dinim, the judgment that we want to cancel, is from Malchut point of view, and also is from the female point of view. Okay? So, we start with the female, which is tru'ah, and we are going to the shvarim. So Rav Ashlag wants us to remember that when you start, you do shvarim tru'ah. You do shvarim and tru'ah, because you talk about right column. Then when you talk about left column, you do only shvarim. Or in the center column, you do only tru'ah. בלבד שהוא דינים דנוקבה בלבד. בלי דינים דדוך השם שברים. So every time you do shvarim, you talk about the male judgment. Every time you do tru'ah, you talk about the female judgment. אמנם כל אלו הדינים שאנו ברורים עם הקולות הללו, אבל מכוונים אותם רק לכף שמאל, כדי למעטו, השברים תרועה לכף שמאל. הכלול בימין, השברים לכף שמאל שבשמאל, התרועה לכף שמאל שבאמצעי. So we have three things happening here. We have three systems in the blowing. You have one blowing that has teki'ah, shvarim tru'ah, teki'ah. Then you have teki'ah, shvarim, teki'ah. Then you have teki'ah, tru'ah, teki'ah. That's the whole system. And it keeps repeating itself. So when it starts, it's teki'ah. Teki'ah, remember. Teki'ah, shvarim, tru'ah in one shot. So it's like Okay, so that's the first system. What is the first system do? כדי למטו שברים תרועה לקו שמאל הכלול בימין. The first system is for the left column that they include with the right. שברים, the center system is go like this. תקיעה in the beginning. שברים in the middle. Then תקיעה in the end. The second system, שברים, is for the left column of left column. Then we do תרועה. תרועה is to the left column of the middle column. So we're fixing all the left column. We fix the left column of the right, the left column of the left, and the left column of the middle. And through that, we are slowly removing the dinim, the judgment from our life. Now, I want to take you to another section from Vayikra, verse 302, and that will help us too. רבי אלעזר ורבי אבא היו יושבים. רבי אלעזר ורבי אבא was sitting. אמר רבי אלעזר, ראיתי אבי, say רבי אלעזר, I saw my father, ביום ראש השנה ויום הכיפורים, on ראש השנה and יום הכיפורים, שלא רצה לשמוע תפילה מכל אדם. He wasn't agreed to hear pray from every human being. חזן אין שופר, אלא אם כן עמד עליו 3 ימים מקודם. Only if he met a חזן or a בעל תוקע 3 days before, לתאר אותו, to purify them. שרבי שמעון היה אומר כך, בתפילה של אדם הזה, שאני בתארו, מתחפר העולם. When I'm purifying the חזן and the בעל תוקע, and the person who blows the shofar, I'm purifying him. through the blowing of the shofar. שלא היה מקבל תקיעת אדם שאינו חכם, לתקוע בכוונה בסוד תקיעה. And Rabbi Shimon was not accepting people who have no idea why they're blowing the shofar. שלמדנו, רבי ישא סבא אמר, אלו התקיעות כסדרם, סדר הראשון כלול מכולם. Now, as Rabbi Yisa is telling us, how is the order of the blowing? So, the first system, כלומר שכלול משברים ומתרועה, והסדר הוא תקיעה, שברים תרועה, תקיעה. So the first set of blowing, we are talking about תקיעה. Remember, תקיעה is the third one sound. שברים, it's cut, chopped to 3. And then תרועה, many. And then תקיעה in the end. Second system is תקיעה, like before. And תקיעה in the end. And גבורה in the middle, which we call it שברים. And the third one is תקיעה and תרועה, and then תקיעה. And we call it 10 קולות, 10 voices. So that 10 voices, that system happening 10 times, which is 100, and then we do תקיעה גדולה for making it 100. פירוש, explaining. בית גבורות אין. There is 2 type of גבורות. One, כף שמאל, left column, זה זעיר אנפין, שנקרא יצחק. Left column of זעיר אנפין, we call it Isaac. Second one היא מלכות, שהיא נבנית מכף שמאל, והיא גם כן גבורה. ועל כן גבורה זה זעיר אנפין מכנה גבורה גדולה. המלכות מכנה גבורה סתם. There is 2 type of גבורות. One גבורה coming from זעיר אנפין, one גבורה coming from מלכות. The גבורה that coming from זעיר אנפין, we call the great גבורה. the גבורה that coming from מלכות, we just call it גבורה. התקיעות בכלל כנגד ג' קווים. כנגד קו שמאל שהיא דין, עם בית הקווים הימין והאמצעי, יכולים אברהם ויעקב, שהם חסד ורחמים. So the main thing of Rosh Hashanah is to take the left column and fix it together with the right column and center column. Both of them by the sound called tekiah. Right column and center column, both called tekiah. שהם סוד בית התקיעות אחד בראש הסדר כנגד אברהם, ואחד בסוף הסדר כנגד יעקב, שביניהם נתבשם ונמתק יצחק שהוא קו שמאל. What are we doing? We are putting on the beginning of the blowing, in every set of blowing, we start with tekiah and we end with tekiah. So like this, מתבשם, we sweet the judgment that might be exist, not by, that exists within the left column, whatever it's come from זעיר אנפין or from מלכות. And we need to know, יש בית בחינות שמאל. We have two type of left column, two type of judgment. One is called גבורה זעיר אנפין, one is called the גבורה coming from זעיר אנפין, and then just גבורה coming from מלכות. And we need to sweet both of them. כי השברים הוא כנגד גבורה הגדולה. When you do the שברים, שברים is corresponding for the great גבורה coming from זעיר אנפין. ועל כן בסדר הראשון אנו כוללים בית הגבורות יחד. And that's why in the beginning we include both. We include שברים and תרועה. סדר השני, second, we are sweet the גבורה הגדולה בלבדה. We just sweet the great גבורה coming from זעיר אנפין. alright? And then, דהיינו שתוקעים תקיעה שברים תקיעה. סדר ג' אנחנו ממתיקים עם בית תקיעות את גבורה סתם בלבדה. And in the third set of blowing, we are now sweet the judgment coming from מלכות. That's what we call it תקיעה, תרועה, תקיעה. שאינו אומר כאן גבורה גדולה, אלא סתם גבורה. שהמלכות שהיא תרועה ונתקעים לה תקיעה, תרועה, תקיעה. פירושו, שברים שהכל נשמע פיסקה פיסקה. קומטרה, פירושו תרועה, שהיא מלשון קינטור, שפירושה הכעסה, כי כל התרועה נשמע כמו גערה והכעסה. פוסקם סלקה, שהשברים עולה לגבורה בזעיר אנפין, the שברים is fixing the גבורה בזעיר אנפין, and the תרועה fixing that going down to מלכות, to do the fixing in מלכות. And שברים is דין קשה, שברים is harsh judgment, תרועה דין רפה, easy judgment. וביום הזה מתעטר יצחק שהוא גבורה וקו שמאל. At this day, Isaac, who's the left column, who's גבורה, מתעטר, is getting dressed by those forces, והוא ראש האבות, and become the head of all of the father. ביום זה כתוב פחדו בציון חטאים. ביום זה נעקד יצחק. At this day, we read about the binding of Isaac. ועקד הכל, and binding everything. ושרה מייללת, and Sarah is yelling, screaming that her son is going to be sacrificed. וכל שופר חזק מאוד, and the blowing of the shofar is great. אשרי חלקו מי שעבר ביניהם, good for those people who know what we just talk about, וניצל מהם and being safe. אמר רבי אבא, בשביל זה אנו קוראים פרשת עקדת יצחק ביום הזה. That's why we have to read from the Torah the binding of Isaac in this day. כי ביום זה נעקד יצחק למטה, ונקשר באותו שלמעלה. מתי נקשר? בשעה שכתוב, ויעקוד את יצחק בנו. So when we read the Torah on Rosh Hashanah, and we say ויעקוד את יצחק בנו, we have to meditate that at this day, specifically this day, Yitzchak was bind, okay? And we are doing that binding that we need to do. What does that mean? פירוש, בראש שנה חוזרים העולמות לקדמותם. Everything is going back to what it was before. What does that mean? Everything is going back to the fourth day of Bereshit, fourth day of creation. שאתה מלבש את הקו שמאל לבינה, והחזיר לקו לבינה. Like I said before, everything is going back to the left column going to מלכות, and right column is going to זעיר אנפין, coming from בינה. ואז עוד לא נתייחדו הימין ושמאל ביחד. והייתה חוכמה בלי חסדים ולא הייתה יכולה להעיר. The חוכמה, which is the left column, which is all the light possible, light, is there, but it cannot shine, cannot be revealed. כי אין החוכמה מהירה בלי חסדים. Because light of wisdom cannot shine without light of mercy. וזה סוד הדינים וקטרוג הלבנה. Now we understand why the moon was complaining. ויצא לזה לקדוש ברוך הוא תקיעת שופר. So for that reason, God said to us, if you blow the shofar, we can fix it. שעל ידי הכל היוצא באפשר מעוררים כוח המסך דחריק, by blowing the shofar, we are activating a curtain of חיריק. It's a code name for the ability to create a center column. בזעיר אנפין שהוא סוד קו צאי, ובמסך דחריק הוא ממעט את קו השמאל מגר, ואז נכנס השמאל לימין ומתייחד עמו. So what are we doing? We're cutting the head of, basically, Malchut. We're not giving light there, so now there is no more judgment. So Malchut has to go back to Zeir Anpin to receive something, so it will be activation of light. We call it center column. הוא מתלבש את ו' קצוות דחוכמה, שלקו בו' שמאל דחסדים, ואז הם מהירים. And now together they unified and shine. הרי שביום ראש השנה, על ידי תקיעת שופר, נתקן קו השמאל. So now we understand why in Rosh Hashanah, by blowing the shofar, we are fixing the left column. שיוכל להאיר, so the left column can shine. מפאת התלבשותו בחסד לימין. And through that he combined with the right column, it maybe cancel what it used to be, everything is coming to balance. שיצחק שהוא קו שמאל להתעטר על ידי התלבשותו בחסדים, אומר מבחינת ו' קצוות דגר, שנקרא עטרה. So through that system, through that blowing of the shofar, now we have 3-column system and shining of the light taking place. כי החטאים הרוצים להידבק בגרד השמאל, המעורר דין בעולם, because every time we commit a crime, every time we commit a sin, every time we do something wrong, is coming from because we want to draw light for free. We don't want to work for that light. What is a sin exactly? What is a crime exactly? It's a great feeling, meaning feeling the light, but without working for it. I don't want to earn it. Person want to steal $1 million. That $1 million belongs to that person, but is not willing to go to the earning process, which is difficult. So what happened? It's called left column. It's drawing only left column. המעוררים בעולם. That's wake up judgment in the world. So now, those chataim, those sin that we did when we come to Rosh Hashanah, are now we cutting the head off. We're cutting the gimel rishonot. We're cutting keter chokmah bina of the left column. Emata בפחד. מכיוון שהמסך דחריק שנתעורר מכל השופר. So now those negativity we created all year long, now I'm afraid because we're just awakening what we call masach decherik, the curtain of cherik, meaning the ability to combine 3-column system, מעת אתגר הללו. ותדע כי תקיעת שופר זה עקדת יצחק כמניין אחד. כי עקדת יצחק פרושו שאברהם מעורר את המסך דחריק שם קו האמצעי למעלה. כוח הזה, והקודת יצחק בנו, דהיינו שמעת הגר וחומה שם קו שמאל, שאין מבחינת יצחק, שעל ידי המיעוט הזה נכלל על השמאל, בקו ימין שהוא סוד אברהם למעלה. וכן יצחק לבטה נכלל באברהם שזה שלמה שם. So, the Zohar and Rav Ashlag is telling us that the binding of Isaac is exactly the same as blowing of the shofar. Because what is both doing is cutting the head of left column, and because of that, there is no choice for the left column to join forces with the right column to create the 3-column system. ככל השופר ממעט את קו השמאל. What the shofar is doing is lowering the left column מן הגר שלו, from גר, from כתר חוכמה בינה of left column, שזה נבחן לעקדה של יצחק. And that's, we call it binding of Isaac. שכל הבחינות של קו שמאל למעלה נאגדו ואפילו קו שמאל לבינה. שהבינה נקראת שרה. What is בינה? What exactly בינה? שרה. שרה, Sarah, the mother of Isaac, is בינה. She is crying. What does that mean crying? שהבינה נקראת שרה הייתה בוכית. שאומר מיעוט. כמובן שהתמעט קו השמאל, שאלה מפרט למה נעשה כל זה, ואומר שהוא משום שכל השופר החזק גרם לכל המיעוט הזה. So the blowing of the shofar, for the binding of this 3-column system, we have to stop the flowing of light of Gimel Rishonot from above. What do you do to a person who is addicted? You have to stop first the addiction, and then we can teach him. You cannot first teach him and then stop the addiction. It will never end. So first you stop the addiction, and then you can teach him. שנתקשרה מחמת הגדה בייחוד ימין ושמאל למעלה, וזכה שאביו קצוות החוכמה שלו התלבשו בחסדים, שהוא מבחינת הגר שלו ושל שאר המדרגות. So, just there's so much more on that. Just thinking what's to share with you. And I would just to summarize it and end it like this. And I'm reading now from Shin Yud 310. When you put all those sound together and they go to the upper heaven with the Creator, which is left center column, so then no more judgment chair, and now we have center column. So there is no more judgment. And that's why we found in the book of Rabbi Nun Saba that in the day of Rosh Hashanah, שהיה אומר התפילה וכל השופר שמוציא הצדיק בשופר ההוא, זה ברוחו ושל כל ההוא עולה למעלה. So, Rabbi Nun Saba say when the sound of the tzaddik going up, even if there is persecutor up there, כל ההוא של השופר כולם נדחים מפניו ואינם יכולים להתקיים. Even all the persecutor come to talk about what you did wrong, when the sound of the shofar come up, those persecutors cannot exist. שייך חלקם של הצדיקים שיודעים לכוון את הרצון, good for the righteous who know how to meditate on that awakening, ויודעים לתקן את העולם ביום ההוא, כל שופר, and they can fix the world with that sound of shofar. אבל כן, and that's why we say, אשרי העם יודע תרועה. That's why we say, good for the people who know תרועה. No, not תוקעה, not blower. And the person has to, nation has to be that they are complete, that they know God and know the greatness of God, and they can pray. And the blowing of the shofar has to be with kavanat halev, has to be with the meditation of the heart, with wisdom, with desire, completion, so the judgment will be removed. Woe for those that the messenger is not perfect. Because when the sin is coming to judge those people, and they don't know what they're doing, and chas v'shalom, the judgment don't want to go away. And that can create a problem. So I just want to share this with you, and just to summarize it now. So there is two types of judgment, Zer Anpin and Malchut. Now remember, I'm sure some of you get confused, what's Tekiah, what's Shvarim, what's Truah, but when you join us for Rosh Hashanah, we'll explain it again. But the idea is like that. You don't want to think that we're just blowing the shofar. You want to understand what happened. So we have two types of judgment, one from Zer Anpin, one from Malchut. And we need to deal with it. Now the Malchut is the left column. Zer Anpin is right column. So both of them have dinim. Both of them have dinim. So what happened on Wednesday? The Malchut, the moon was greater, but it's not shining. The sun was not greater, but it's shining. So the moon was left column, so it cannot shine because it's only light that go from above to below. The sun is a light that go reflecting. So you can only see reflecting in our universe. Everything is reflecting. Whoever is not reflecting their potential, they don't exist. They don't exist. That's what that joke, if a tree fall in the forest and nobody was there to hear it, didn't make a sound. And the idea, if nobody is there to reflect what they came here to do, is like they never been born. If you have a gift, but that gift was never manifest into sharing, that gift has no value. Very simple. That's Malchut. So what do we do with the shofar? We cutting the head off. So there is no flow of energy there. And then we take that, and we take Zer Anpin, dinim, we wrap them down from one side chesed, from one side tiferet, and we sweep the judgment. Amazing. So it sounds like tekiah, shvarim truah, tekiah. Tekiah is flat sound. Tekiah. But the first one, always chesed. The last one, same sound. But the last one is tekiah as well, but it's different. In between that sandwich, if you wish, that wall, we have either Shvarim Truah, either we have just Shvarim, or either we have just Truah. Different type of judgment that we are fixing. I hope by these complicated words and lecture, mass information I share with you, it was able to capture your brain to appreciate Rosh Hashanah and to understand. I hope to make more lecture on this subject and give you the basic. And remember, those of you watching it, the reason we do tshuva is we are sorry for every time that we use the left column of Malchut, that we draw energy down that we couldn't earn. That's what the sin looked like. Thank you.